Hello, hope you're having a great day. Now, today I definitely feel like I've gone backwards a bit in terms of the recovery from the injury in my neck. Yeah, it definitely feels like I'm in more pain today, just in general. Still not as bad when I'm getting up out of bed and stuff as it was a few days ago. Because, yeah, when I'm getting up from a laid down position or getting up from sort of a relaxed seated position, that's when it sort of aggravates it more. So that isn't as painful as it has been. But in general, just, moving around and the fact that the muscles are holding my head up, in general, that feels worse. So yeah, I'm kind of getting less intense pain, but more often, if that makes any sense. And I think it's just one of those injuries, right, where, your neck muscles are constantly holding your head up all the time. So it's natural that, whilst it's recovering, it's also being put under strain. You can't take the weight off of your neck muscles completely, can you? Apart from when you're asleep. So yeah, I think it's just going to be a bit up and down in terms of the pain. It might vary from day to day. But, as I say, the intensity of the pain is definitely getting slowly reduced over time, which is good. But yeah, definitely last night, there was a good few times where I woke myself up basically from the pain, just where you're, rolling around and moving around at night, which isn't going to be great for the amount of rest I'm getting and stuff. And I think tonight, I'm probably going to drop some painkillers just so I can go to sleep. Throughout this whole injury, I've only dropped painkillers on that one day when I first sort of decided to drop them just so I could get out and about and, get to my garage that day. And since then, I've just been doing without because I sort of reinforced my belief that, the pain can be eased just by using my neck, just by not sitting indoors doing anything. And you know what? That does help massively. And I'm sure it will help today, because I am planning to get out and get over to my garage, although it is absolutely chucking it down with rain. So I hope that's going to improve. But another thing I sort of realised yesterday, something I've heard before, from watching other people on the internet and stuff. But the cold shower really eased the pain. And yeah, as I say, I've heard that people get in ice baths and whatnot to ease aches and pains. I know a lot of people get in ice baths and have cold showers as a mind thing. That's basically why I do it. I put myself through that healthy suffering of having a cold shower, because then it means that, most things that are going to come up in life won't be able to beat me, because I've put myself through that suffering early on in the day, in the same way that I put myself through working out every day and stuff like that. So yeah, this neck injury is not going to beat me, but I've just noticed that I'm getting stabs of pain more often today. And as I say, I did get woken up a good few times last night due to it, but you know what, life goes on. It is what it is. I can't start crying too much if, my body gets injured due to my own fault because of me training not properly. I can only assume that this has been done by, the decline weighted sit-ups, using too much weight, using the wrong form, etc. And ultimately, throughout most of my adulthood, I abused my body myself from taking drugs and drinking alcohol and eating crap. So, I can't cry now if my body gets injured from me living my life the correct way and trying to be as healthy and strong as I can be. Now, this morning was a battle in terms of getting up, as it always is. I am inherently lazy, and that part of me is a lot stronger in the mornings. When I'm tired, it's harder for me to battle against my old lazy ways that are, ingrained in my mind, right? And this morning was no different, because I was in a bit more pain. There was that extra excuse for me to lay back down after my alarm went off at 7:30. I got up at 7:30, went to the toilet, and then just went and laid down in my bed and kind of promised myself that I'd get up before 8 a.m. Usually I end up breaking that promise, but today, about 10 to 8, I think it was, I kind of snapped out of that and got up and got going, because ultimately, even if I was to go to sleep for an hour after failing to stay up at 7:30, I'm not going to be any more rested, am I? All I need to do is just get to the point where I'm at the sink having my pints and pints of water that I have every morning. And by the time I've done that, and I have my salt water and I have my vitamin C that I dissolve in water, and then, get all my layers on ready for my walk around the block and brush my teeth, at some point during all that, I'm then fully awake, way more awake than I would be by not doing any of them things and going back to bed for another half hour, hour and a half. And, you know, I'm lucky that I know this. You know, those kind of things are going through my mind in the morning when my lazy mind is trying to keep me in bed. They're the things that I'm sort of trying to focus on so that I'm not focusing on, you know, the excuses my lazy mind's given me to stay in bed. But yeah, it is still a battle, and it was a battle today. But grateful that I got going, you know, at 10 to 8, you know, the fact that I decided to lay back down after getting up at 7:30 is potentially like dangerous. You know, I could end up staying in bed until 11, 12 o'clock, but, you know, grateful that I managed to get going at 10 to 8. By the time I'd, you know, gone through the stages that I just mentioned and then got all my layers on ready for my walk around the block, it was about 8:15. So, you know, still a lot later than it would be compared to if I was able to jump out of bed at 7:30 and get going quickly. But, you know, it's not the end of the world. What's the time now? Yeah, it's actually 9:20 now. Now, I did go for my walk around the block. I also got my car out of the garage and parked it outside my house ready. Had some car parts to put into my boot and bring around here to put in the shed as well, because I've got some people coming around that have purchased some bits on eBay from me this evening. So yeah, you know, getting my car out and stuff, that's another 10 minutes that it adds to my routine. So, you know, it being 9:20 isn't the end of the world at all, but right now I need to dive into doing a workout. Now, on my little workout plan, I've got push-ups, sit-ups and shrugs. Now, I'm definitely not going to be doing any shrugs because that's definitely going to strain my neck. So I'm just going to do the push-ups and the sit-ups, you know, 2 sets of each, you know, leave it at that. I'm not going to allow myself to cry too much about the fact that I'm only doing 2 exercises rather than 3. You know, I could sit here for ages trying to think of another 3rd exercise to do, but as I say, you know, I'm injured. I need to be content with doing something. And I think 2 sets of push-ups and sit-ups is adequate. Then I can dive in my cold shower, which will hopefully, you know, relieve my pain a little bit more, but it'll certainly be a challenge, as the cold showers always are. And then I'll come out, you know, awake, buzzing with dopamine, you know, because the cold shower does, you know, give you a spike of dopamine. Then it'll be ready for my healthy breakfast, and then I can dive into another busy day. So let's crack on with these push-ups and sit-ups. Amazing. I normally do 25 sit-ups in a set, but when you're literally focusing on only using your abs because you're injured, I only just about done 18 there. So yeah, it just shows, like, if you use correct form, you know, you can do less reps, and I'm feeling it more in my abs than I normally do. You know, a lot of the time I can sort of feel the strain in my back where I'm bringing other muscles in. So yeah, very interesting. But it was really painful to get started. All right, just got home after a productive day around the garage, or half a day. It's actually already 7:10. It's starting to get dark later now, which is good. You know, I have more time around the garage, but I've got to be careful in terms of, you know, if I get home late, then I've got less time to do everything I need to, you know, like go to the gym, etc. I did do some of the work that I needed to do for the posts and stuff this morning before I went to the garage. So yeah, I don't have a lot left to do. Got a tiny bit of editing left to do on yesterday's video on this channel, and then I'm going to try and get myself to the gym for a back and shoulder session. And I think I'm actually just going to drop a couple of painkillers, because, you know, those back and shoulder exercises are going to put strain on my neck, and, you know, I've got to get back into the swing of things, you know, doing full sessions in the gym. You know, if I take some painkillers and then really focus on actually hitting the muscles that I want to hit, you know, in my back and shoulders rather than straining my neck, I should be fine. Just going to munch this chicken and salad sandwich. Going to have this cup of coffee. Bit late for coffee, to be honest, but there you go. Do the little work that I need to on my MacBook, and then hopefully my beautiful girlfriend will be home so that I can take her car to the gym. But let's see. All right, it is almost 9:20 and I'm on the way to the gym. So yeah, it's almost as late as I went to the gym last night, but tonight I'm doing back and shoulders, which doesn't usually take as long as doing a leg session like I did last night.
Hopefully it won't be too busy in there, because how long the sessions take is mainly down to how long you've got to wait to get on the machines. But last night's leg session, I didn't have to wait to get on any of the machines, and I was in there just under 2 hours. But tonight I'm hoping to be in and out of there in an hour. Now, I don't want to rush through things too much. I've said this before. You can't rush through your session too much. Leave too small a gap between your sets, because then you're not going to be able to bang out your usual amount of reps on your sets, and then you're not getting as much out of your workout as you otherwise could have. But I'm going to try and strike the balance right tonight. I'm going to try and not be in there too long, but still leave enough gap between my sets and stuff, so that I get a lot out of the workout in terms of stimulating my muscles. So going to go in there, going to do the super fast, super steep incline walk for a warm-up, just 0.6 miles as usual, just to literally warm my body up. And then I'm planning to do the normal 5 machines on back and shoulders. Now, because I've got a neck injury, back and shoulders is potentially going to aggravate it. So I've got to be, a bit mindful with my form, you could say. I've been going really light with my shoulder stuff anyway, for, a few months now, just because the boxing really strains my shoulders, and, I don't want to injure my shoulder and I won't be able to do boxing. But obviously I haven't done boxing now for over a week, I think, or is it over 2 weeks? So I might go a little bit lighter than I usually do on shoulders, but the shoulder stuff I can normally bang through quite quick anyway, because I go relatively light with it. So we'll see how I do. I'll probably be in the gym at say 10 to 9 by the time I've put my stuff in my locker and all that. So we'll see if I manage to get out at 10 to 10. That would be as good as it's going to get, really. I'm not going to be in there any less than an hour. If I get out at 10 to 10, it gives me plenty of time to get home, have some dinner, have a shower, and maybe chip away at some work. Well, I actually did get out at dead on 10 to 10, so I was in there exactly an hour, but I haven't done rear delt because there was a massive crowd of people on the rear delt machine. So I'm going to go home and bang out 3 sets of bent over rear delt flies with my dumbbells. Alright, so with the bent over rear delt flyers done in my living room, that is my back and shoulder session done, and I've already had a shower. I definitely felt a bit weak tonight than what I can remember. I was, forcing myself really to just do the same weights as I was doing before. I got my cold and then got injured. In fact, I was thinking about it afterwards, and I think I sort of accidentally went up a notch on the shoulder stuff. The shoulder press and the lateral raise, but on a few of the machines I felt weak. I wasn't able to bang out as many reps as I normally do. I did do things in a slightly different order than normal, so that might have been why. For instance, I went on the diverging seated row first because the assisted pull-ups was taken, and then I went on the assisted pull-ups, and I was unable to do the amount of reps that I normally do on the assisted pull-ups. But the way that I do the diverging seated row, I have my seat like up high, and I sort of pull the thing. I'm trying to activate my lats, and I'm guessing the assisted pull-ups also activate your lats. So the fact that I did them two, a different way around, maybe that's why I felt weaker on the assisted pull-ups. But on the shoulder stuff, I was doing less reps. But as I say, I think I might have gone up a notch. I think I was remembering the weight wrong from what I did before. But ultimately, I went hard. It was a good workout. And if I am a bit weak, it might just be because the shoulder stuff, does
semi-use the muscle that I've injured. I certainly didn't feel any pain, but that might have been because I had the painkillers. So maybe the injured muscle is making me feel a bit weak, even though I couldn't feel the pain because of the painkillers. Or maybe without realising it, I'm sort of using form that is purposely not putting strain on that muscle. I don't know. But ultimately, it was a good session, and I'm glad that I went to the gym, and I'm proud of myself that I went to the gym. I never, ever regret going to the gym. But yeah, in there I was listening to the latest podcast from Andrew Tate. I don't know if it's Andrew Tate's podcast or whether it's him on someone else's podcast. He was with a couple of guys called Fresh and Fit. They were in Andrew's house, but I don't know, it might have been their podcast. But yeah, he's going into a bit more detail about when he got arrested, just over a year ago. And as his case gets more and more thrown out, and as him and his brother get granted with more and more freedoms, he is going into more detail about what happened. Now, obviously, even if it does get completely thrown out, it's still ruined his reputation in a way, but not really in a way that I think is going to hurt him. All right, the majority of the world, most people that are still living with a slave mind, they have got a sort of bad view of Andrew Tate, but everyone has a responsibility themselves to see what's going on in the world, and everyone who can see what's going on in the world, and everyone who has actually followed what's been going on with him, can see that it is a load of nonsense, and they're just coming after him because he's so influential and because he's turning so many people away from the slave mind that the Matrix needs the majority of people to have for the system to work. And it's a shame that these things happen to these people, and then they end up getting a bad reputation from the masses. But ultimately, Andrew Tate says this himself, the system needs the majority of people to still be trusting in the system and still be living with that slave mind. So all that matters really is those of us that are living with our eyes open can see what's going on. We can't save everyone. It's everyone's responsibility to see exactly what is going on in the world themselves. Even with the stuff that I say, I don't say anything that isn't true, and there's certain things that I say and that sort of turns people off of my channel, and that's absolutely fine. I just speak my mind, tell the truth, and if other people don't like it, that's absolutely fine, because we've all got our own opinions at the end of the day. But yeah, I'm going to continue listening to that podcast probably tonight as I'm going to bed, and probably tomorrow on my walk as well. I like to keep up to date with what's going on with the Tates, because they're just a couple of many people that I watch on the internet that helped me in my life. Anyway, right now my beautiful girlfriend is knocking me up some dinner, very late dinner. It's 10:25, and I'm having steak, which I'm really looking forward to. But I'm going to end this video here because I'm going to eat my dinner, and then I'm at least going to import some files for the footage that I've been filming today. The video that I'm working on next is very intense in terms of the amount of footage. It's another video where there's going to be a lot of sped up footage of me working on what I'm working on at the moment with music in the background. Going to be quite intense to edit, but that's all good. As long as the video comes out good and people enjoy watching it, then that's all that matters. When I'm talking about the videos that I'm making on the other channel, on this channel, I don't like to spoil it. But yeah, those of you that watch the videos on the other channel will know what I'm working on next on the other channel. But yeah, that's it for this video. Hope it's been somewhat helpful or motivational. I'll be back again for another video tomorrow for you guys that want to follow me on my day. As usual, until then, feel free to say hello in the comments, or if you prefer, get in touch with me through Facebook, Instagram or email. But other than that, I'll chat to you tomorrow.